What do we do with spaces that are so familiar to us after tragedies like this? And, you know, part of the reason we wanted to have this conversation was because at the same time, as I said, the students in Newtown are going back to school. The theater in Aurora is getting ready to reopen. Let's take a look at this article here from Huffington Post. And there's been a bit of a controversy, frankly, that the movie theater has often offered tickets to the opening night for the families of the victims of the tragedy.
I always try to be very aware of the fragility of people in the aftermath of these things, people trying to do good and people trying to come to terms and understand. And so I'm rarely quick to sort of offer some judgment about someone's behavior. But I just read the letter that the family sent back to the invitation to come to the theater.
I'll read part of the letter back. It says, this is from the families. During the holiday, we didn't think anyone or anything could make our grief worse. But you, Cinemark, have managed to do just that by sending us an invitation 2 days after Christmas, inviting us to attend the reopening of your theater in Aurora, where our loved ones were massacred. Thanks for making what is a very difficult holiday season that much more difficult. Timing is everything, and yours is awful. And the letter goes on. Let me turn to you, Connie. You know, your father, as I said, was Dave, who was killed at Columbine. You know, when you see what the families are going through here, you've been through it yourself, and you can't draw direct parallels, but, you know, what was your response to hear that letter from the families and to see what the movie theater did?
I was actually surprised that there was a letter at all. I find it far more appropriate to meet with the families, have a representative go to each family and ask how they feel about it. The victims' advocates are great people to go through for that. They had so many other options, and to send out a form letter to the families it does feel cold. I don't think probably the intention was that. I just don't think it was very well thought out, and they aren't experienced dealing with victims of tragedy. So they probably thought they were doing the right thing without getting further consult on how different this is from any other opening night.
Is the idea of making something operable right away again, and I know this is not right away, but it's close enough to right away. We're not that far away from August. What's the thinking there, I guess?
Money. I guess, you know, at some point they would want to move on. They want to put this thing behind them, and they've already changed the signage. So I think they're naturally wanting to fast forward. I think they're going about it very poorly, but they're wanting to fast forward out of the tragedy. I mean, how awesome would it be if Columbine was known as just a high school and not a tragedy, you know?